Nobody told me that one of the strangest things about retirement would be little everyday things you don't really think about until you're actually living them. So today, I want to share 7 of those little retirement surprises with you. And if you're already retired, I have a feeling you're going to recognize a few of them. Hello, friends. I'm Janine, and welcome to JC Lowe's Next Chapter. If you're new here, I retired in 2024 after teaching for 22 years. I've shared some of the bigger parts of my story, why I retired, caregiving, and what the first year of retirement felt like. But today we're talking about something a little different. We're talking about the ordinary stuff, the things that probably aren't going to show up on anybody's retirement planning checklist. So let's see how many of these sound familiar to you. I have found that running errands at the wrong time feels strange. For years, my errands had to fit around school. I went after work, on weekends, during school breaks, or whenever I could squeeze them in. Then I retired, and suddenly I could go to the grocery store at 10 o'clock on a Tuesday morning. And I'm telling you, at first it felt a little strange. I'd look around and think, who are all these people at the grocery store on a Tuesday morning? And then one day it hit me. I'm one of them now. Appointments are different too. I don't have to look at the available times and immediately start thinking, how am I going to take off work for that? I can just choose an appointment. That may not sound like a big deal, but after years of fitting your personal life around your job, it really is an adjustment. And once you get used to those weekday errands, something else happens. I still think in terms of weekends. For most of my adult life, Friday meant something. Friday meant I made it through another week. Then Saturday had to hold just about everything else: projects around the house, family plans, grocery shopping, and all the things I didn't get to Monday through Friday. And Sunday, you probably already know what Sunday could feel like. Part of Sunday was usually spent preparing for the coming week. What's funny is that even now, I catch myself thinking, I'll do that this weekend. And then I'll stop. Why am I waiting until Saturday? If I want to work outside on Wednesday morning, I can. If I feel like baking something on a Thursday afternoon, I can do that too. I still enjoy weekends. They just don't have to carry the weight of my entire personal life anymore. And apparently, that is a habit that takes a little time to unlearn. Now, here's another retirement habit I've picked up, and this one, it makes me laugh. I have become an expert at avoiding crowds. When I was working full time, I shopped at the same time everybody else who works full time was shopping, which was on the weekends. And that's just when you have time to shop. But retirement introduces you to a completely different world. Now, when I go out, I'll look at a busy parking lot and I'll think, nope, I can come back on Tuesday or another day. Or I'll think, if I leave now, I can get there before the lunch crowd arrives. Who knew avoiding crowds would become one of my retirement skills? But once you've experienced a quiet grocery store on a weekday morning, it's hard to voluntarily go back on Saturday. And having that flexibility has changed something else too. A beautiful day can actually change your plans. When I was teaching, I could look outside and see the most beautiful day. And I would think to myself, today would be a great day to work in my flowers or just to spend some time outside. But you know what? It didn't matter because I was at school. Now I look at the weather forecast a little differently. If tomorrow is supposed to be a beautiful day, I might think, okay, tomorrow I'll work outside. If it's going to rain, that's fine. I can find something to do inside and move the outdoor project to another day. And I really enjoy having that kind of flexibility. For years, my schedule pretty much told me what kind of day I was going to have. Now, every once in a while, I can let the day itself decide. And speaking of being home more, here's something else I wasn't expecting. I started noticing my own house differently. This one might sound a little funny, but stay with me. When I was working full time, I was away from my house for a big part of the day. After I retired, I started noticing little things around my own home that I hadn't really paid attention to before when I was working. I noticed where the sunlight comes through the windows in the morning. I know which rooms get warmer in the afternoon. I notice when the birds are active in the yard and what time of the day my flowers seem to look their best. I've even noticed how quiet the middle of the day actually is. Now, none of that is life changing, but that's exactly the point. Those things were probably happening all along. I just wasn't there to notice them. Retirement has given me a chance to see some of the ordinary parts of my own life that I used to miss because I was busy. But there's one habit from teaching that apparently followed me right into retirement, and that is I keep checking the clock even when I don't need to. For 22 years, the clock mattered. And if you've ever taught school or you work, you know exactly what I mean. My lessons were built around 90-minute blocks. There was always a certain amount of time to finish what we were doing before the next class arrived. Apparently, you can retire from teaching, but your internal clock doesn't necessarily retire with you. I'll be working on something at home and automatically stop and check the time. And then I'll catch myself and think, why am I checking the time? There's no bell getting ready to ring. Nobody's coming into my classroom. If I want to keep working on what I'm doing, I can just keep working. And if I want to stop and come back to it later, I can do that too. After 22 years of watching the clock, I think the clock may be having a harder time retiring than I am. And that brings me to the last one, because this is something I said all the time when I was working. I have realized how often I used to say, I don't have time. How many times have you said that? I know I've said it plenty. I don't have time to do that today. I'll have to wait until the weekend. Maybe I'll get to it during a summer break. Or my personal favorite, I'll do it when things slow down. But somehow, things never seem to slow down. There was always another school day, another responsibility, another deadline, or something waiting for me at home. Now, retirement hasn't magically given me unlimited time. Believe me, my days can still get away from me. But the difference is that I don't automatically have to fit my personal life into whatever time my work schedule leaves behind. Sometimes I can do something simply because today happens to be a good day to do it. And that's something I'm still getting used to. I know when people talk about retirement, we usually hear about the big things: finances, travel, health. Where are you going to live? What are you going to do next? And all of those things matter. But I'm discovering that retirement also shows up in the really small, ordinary moments that I discussed above. So now I want to hear from you. If you're retired, what's one small everyday thing that surprised you? I'm not necessarily talking about something life changing. I'm talking about one of those little moments when you stopped and thought, oh, this is different now. Tell me in the comments, because I have a feeling there are a whole lot more retirement surprises we haven't talked about yet. And if you're getting close to retirement, tell me which one of these surprised you the most. If you enjoyed spending this time with me, please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to JC Lowe's Next Chapter. We'll keep talking about retirement, life after teaching, family, and what it means to build a meaningful next chapter. Until next time, take care of yourself.